All right, y'all, we back. I had to come inside. So I was talking about the man. I'm off of that. Everybody pretty much know it's apps and everything. It's pages of people talking about foreign men and what's the show called? Something abroad, dating abroad or something. We all know about that. So I'm not gonna speak too much on that. Next. So my son also mentioned too, like in Jamaica, you could sell stuff on the street. Now I don't know if it's all the way legal, and I know some places are trying to get like the U.S., but in the U.S. you see people with a sign saying, "Please give me money. Anything helps." And it's sad that it's got to that because pandering is actually illegal as well, but you don't get fined for it. You're not really gonna get put in jail for it. They're just gonna move you out the way. But if you're out there selling stuff, like in Jamaica, they sell fruits, they sell car cleaning stuff. I mean, they sell everything on the street at the stoplight. Not even speaking, yeah, crawfish. They sell bags of crawfish just in the middle of the street, especially in Ocho Rios. You see it right there. They selling what you need: waters, cookies, donuts, whatever. You will see that and you appreciate they out there hustling, but you can't do that in the U.S. If you do that in the U.S., they gonna say, "Where's your seller's tag and your business registration?" And you get fined a lot of money if you out there selling. I know it's a sad truth, but it's the truth. And I know certain areas again they're trying to enforce things like that in Jamaica. But that's something that my kids actually remember too, that they like, get your hustle on.
Yeah,
And
what is it called? The clothes that they have, like a bunch of clothes and stuff, like
on
on.
the street, yeah, I was just gonna mention that they sell on the street just like a market, like and I know in Africa you see it too. They sell their clothes, they sell everything you need on the street. I'm not scared. I used to be scared to shop on the street. Now I'm not scared to do that anymore. You want to patronize with your with the locals. And like I told y'all before, they will rip you off. They don't care if you return it. Some of them, most of them don't care if you return it. A lot of them do. It's a lot of genuine people in Jamaica, so don't let me scare you away. But that's something that I'm hearing often, even in Africa. A lot of the people that the return to Ghana, I'm hearing a lot of people leaving because they were ripped off. It's a sad truth. It happens. So you definitely have to do your due diligence and also find somebody you could team up with. Even if while you're in the U.S., there's so many people here that's from these different countries. Team up with them and ask them to link you with a family member or something like that. And even then, you still got to be careful. But it's something you have to pray about. Definitely use a lot of discernment. Definitely do a lot of research. I call them foreign fees. And for the first year or so, you will probably you're going to get ripped off. One way or another, you're going to get ripped off. Until you learn the prices of things, you're going to get ripped off. Some of the places do have stores that's Americanized, so they have their prices there. Sometimes they don't. And another thing, like when you're in a store, like in the U.S., if they have a price listed in the U.S., they have to sell, even if it's the wrong price by accident or it was on sale at the time. If it's listed like that in the U.S., is you have to sell it for that price by law. It's called false advertisement if you don't. But in Jamaica, you may get to the register and say, "Hey, this said this," and the description was right. Most of the stuff ain't even priced in the stores that I went to. I'm like, I don't even know how to budget because I don't know how much nothing costs. But even if the price is listed and it rings up a different price, and I'm like, that's not what it rung up for. And they like, well, that's not the price. And they gonna keep scanning your stuff. End of the story. And you can't be like, that's false. Get the yelling, it's false advertisement, or not yelling. But that's the end of the story. They not gonna change the price for you. So that's the difference between the U.S. and Jamaica. Let me see. Also, y'all, I definitely this is something I definitely wanted to talk about. I had my son in Jamaica. And when I tell you that is a experience. When I was going through even some of the prenatal care, like they have different types of hospital levels. They have some where you pay, like most of their healthcare is free. All of the healthcare basically is free. They have free hospitals And and it's not the best care. I will say that I felt so sorry for a lot of the pregnant women. So they have the hospitals and stuff that's free for people. I remember going to the hospital one time when I first found out I was pregnant, and somebody walked in the hospital, and I don't know if his hand was chopped off. Like, that's another thing. Before I even get to the hospital one, it was times where I was in a car and it was a car accident. I don't know if the person had died. All I know is I seen the police grab him by his clothes and just move him out the way. I was like, this is crazy. Like, you don't see that in the U.S. They're not moving you until the ambulance come and they put you on a stretcher. So that's just how it is done in the U.S. They're not about to roll you out the street. They're going to literally block everybody from running you over or whatever. But they're not going to move you because they feel like, you may have a bone that may be in a sensitive area and they may make it worse. So they don't move you. They're going to leave you in the middle of wherever you are in the U.S. until an ambulance come and put you on a stretcher. Jamaica, they ain't doing that. They gonna grab you by your clothes or however they can grab you and throw you out the way. So, and I don't know how it is in Kingston and Montego Bay, but that's what I seen. But anyway, when I was in the hospital, when I first found out I was pregnant, a guy came in the hospital, and I don't know if his arm was cut off. Like, I don't know. And the people was in there laughing at him. All I seen was like a rag, or somebody put like a rag over his hand and just full of blood. And I don't know if his arm was cut off. It was bad. And they were laughing at him. They were just like, well, they were speaking in their little patois. And I don't even know what they were saying. But I just know it was very gruesome to me. And he had to sit there and wait. He had to sit there. I seriously doubt they would have let him just like die from the bleeding to death. But he had to wait. So that was another thing. But the experience with like prenatal care, oh God, I got pictures and videos of how our waiting room looked. It was outside. It was outside. Most of the prenatal care. This is the free one, or this is the one that doesn't cost. Like I said, they have different ones where you can pay for it, and it's not expensive. It really ain't. Like my ultrasound, I paid $36 for an ultrasound. That is unheard of in the U.S. I don't know how much an ultrasound costs. I believe it's in the thousands USD for an ultrasound. So it's just like not heard of trying to get treatment as a pregnant woman without health care in the US. I really don't know. Like, it's extremely expensive, but the quality is not like the US as far as when you go to the doctor appointment, you stand in the AC or the heat, depending on the temperature outside. You may have to wait a while. Everything is new in the US, like as far as your bedding. When you go see a doctor, if they feel like you need, I didn't do a lot of prenatal care, so because I couldn't wait. Like the first prenatal care I did, I tried to go to, I couldn't sit in the heat. It was too hot. I started getting lightheaded. It was buku women outside. They call them the baby mamas. They just all sitting outside with babies. They just had a baby, or they 9 months pregnant, or they 6 months pregnant, or 1 month pregnant, and they waiting for hours. And the man tried to kind of move me up because of my accent, and I didn't like that. Like, I do not want special treatment because I'm American. Don't do that. Please don't, because it's gonna cause issues with the next person. And honestly, I'm just not like that. I'm a fair person. But I couldn't stick around and stay. I just couldn't. It was like you could see the people getting their vitals taken, like as you sitting outside waiting in the heat. I can't even explain it. It's something that you will never imagine if you're from the U.S. And when I had my son, when I was actually in the labor room, I was in a room with like 7 different women. Like it was about 7, 8 beds in the room with us. And, some were about to have their baby like in full blown labor, which they're not going to keep you if you're not like about to have that baby. Some are screaming. They had a back room where you actually deliver the baby. It had like 2 beds in there. This is probably the most dramatic of it all. And they have AC. They have AC where you're actually delivering a baby. But the first room where it's like 7, when you're standing there waiting, you know, you contracting for a little bit, no AC, just hot. And in the U.S., most of the hospital rooms, the birthing rooms, or you know, most of the time when you get to the hospital in the U.S., they're gonna put you in a room if they know, okay, you about to have this baby. They're gonna put you in a room where you're gonna deliver at. You're gonna stay in that room until you have your baby. They're gonna supply you with pads, the sheets. They don't do that in Jamaica. When I tell you, you gotta bring your own sheets, your own baby pampers. In the US, you don't have to bring your own baby pampers. You don't even have to bring your own milk. You don't have to bring nothing. They even have panties for you, like the disposable panties it's not used panties. These are disposable panties, and you put the pad in it. Some of them come with like a cooling thing if you ever had to be cut or anything like that. They supply you with everything in the US. They do feed you in Jamaica. They have meals in Jamaica, but you better come with your own sheets. You better come with your own everything, soap, everything. You have to have your own everything in Jamaica, and you don't have to do that in the US. But aside from all the glitz and the glam, I would say that when I was in a hospital in Jamaica, the lady came and prayed with us every morning. It really felt like a community. It was definitely an experience. Of course, some people say, I would never go through that. Well, I'm just telling you, if you don't really have no money like that or try to spend no money like that, you may have to go through that. But like I said, they do offer different, their better advanced deliveries or hospital care is not as expensive as the US. You may pay like $2,000 for your baby's delivery, 2,000 US for a whole delivery, and maybe even prenatal care. Like, it's a package. I think you have to do it in advance. I didn't do it in advance. That's why I wasn't able to actually do what I planned to do. I actually wanted to have a home birth, and they do that too. They will come to your house if you have it planned in advance. They will come to your house and give you a home birth. You do have to have your own stuff then, but that's a good option to me, but the community was one thing. The women were so helpful, because I didn't know what to do. Like, I'm like, I don't even have everything. And when I had my son, I'm glad I had him with I didn't have no medicines or nothing like that. I had to feel that birth. And out of all my kids that I had, I felt like his was the most spiritual. I felt like I went into the spiritual world, got him out, and came back with him. That's how much pain I was in. That's right. He gave me the true birthing experience. And then of course because in the US they give you medicine quick. They give you a epidural. You don't feel nothing. You don't feel nothing at all. So yeah, again, what I was saying was, when I had him, I didn't have a lot of the medication, so I really experienced birth, and the joy you feel when you have them is like completely different. We all know that in the US they give you epidural. You don't really feel the pain, like talking about it. You don't really feel it. So it's like, you feel the weight off of you. You have your baby, you love them, and you just very happy that this was the baby's crying, and it's just a different experience when I had to go through it naturally. If you have an option, then go whichever's best for you. But another thing I experienced while I was in, oh Lord, it's hard for me to talk about this, y'all. But while I was having him, that morning before I had him, it was a lady that came in. She delivered a baby, and we knew something had went on. I knew something happened, but I was like in full labor at this point. When I had my son, I realized that the lady that went in labor earlier prior to me, her baby had passed away. The whole time while I was having my son, that deceased baby was right next to me, upside down with a cover on him. They hadn't came and got the body yet. Like, that was something You're not gonna see that in the U.S. And I don't know if that's common in different parts of Jamaica, but that happened to me. I mean, that really happened. So that was definitely something. It was something else I wanted to mention that was. Oh yeah, the earthquake. My kids had to remind me. While I was in labor, Jamaica had one of the strongest earthquakes. I think it was on my birthday, y'all. I felt like I was in a movie theater. I have never been in an earthquake before. So I'm laying on a hospital bed and everything started shaking. It was a whole earthquake. I just was like, oh my God. So that's just something I had to throw in there. But yeah, about the baby, that was a very sad, tragic thing. And I know some of y'all like, oh my God, like, I'd rather have it in the US. And that's definitely a prerogative. I gained a different experience in Jamaica with having my son there. I got to feel community. And the nurses, like, they really cared. Like, it just seemed like they really cared. In the U.S., you get all the glitz and the glam, but especially as a black mother, the fatality rate is high for a lot of us. Like, they just don't seem to care about us. Like, for real, we don't know what they put in our blood when they giving us these epidurals. We don't know what they doing to us. So, you know, if I had a choice, I probably would do it in the U.S., of course, because I'm not used to having it that way. But we not having no more, so we ain't got to worry about that. So that's something that I definitely wanted to talk about. And of course, the medical system there is way cheaper. I drove around Kingston one time and they had a clinic for just like regular checkups, and it was 500 Jamaican dollars. You can do the math. 500 Jamaican dollars is like, what? How much is that? Like $2, $3, $3 American, something like that. It's not that much. Like, no more than $5 to just have like a checkup. If you just need to go get a pelvic exam or something like that, it's a lot cheaper. I think to have braces on your teeth, some places charge maybe like $800. So, and I speak about that a lot, not even just in Jamaica, but like in Cuba. A lot of people in the U.S. they leave the whole country just to have their dental done, because it's so much cheaper. It's ridiculously high in the U.S. For you got to have health insurance for everything, and even with the health insurance, it's still high. What else did I want to mention? I had just thought about it before I started talking about that. It's extremely high in the U.S. You can go in debt in forever just trying to get just to get a checkup for a cold. Like, you can go in debt forever. It's so many people walking around sick or with their teeth rotting out their mouth because they can't afford dental. I even heard a guy end up dying because the infection just went in his bloodstream and his teeth, and he died because they kept giving him antibiotics instead of actually doing something to treat it. Now, it is a lot of clinics here that you may have to stand in line for, that I don't know if they still have them, but they do have some places they have clinics where they have a sliding scale, or they may pull the tooth out. You know, you're not getting no cosmetic, you're not getting the a root canal. They gonna pull that tooth out. You may not even get a fill in. They're just gonna pull a tooth out. So they may offer that here in certain places, but that's something I want to mention. I'm gonna pause because it's some other stuff that I know I have not mentioned. It's on my eye. So I think I just the glare. See. So my son wanted me to mention also, in the U.S., beaches are not right there. To live by a beach is very expensive. Like, huh? A clean beach. A beach where you can walk to and actually get in and swim and surf. And I know in Jamaica, a lot of the places are taking over the local beaches. A lot of people are buying up the land, and y'all need to fight for y'all land but it's still a lot of pockets of beaches where the locals can go to. That's it's just not happening here. You gotta have some money to be in walking distance of a beach, and I'm not talking about up in the mountains, because I know some people stay up in the mountains or in the hills. That's close compared to here. You definitely have to have a car to get to the beach if you don't have the money to live by one. You gotta be like a millionaire. But in Jamaica, you can stay. They have pockets. They are trying to take over, but they do have pockets of local areas where you can go, places where you can wash your clothes. That's the difference. Most Jamaicans use gas in Jamaica. And you talking about buying a propane tank. I think it's propane. I believe it's propane. But you buy a tank, where I was at anyway. You have it brung in your house. You connect it to your stove. And when you run out of that gas, you gotta go buy more. It's not a gas bill in the U.S. Most of the places, a lot of people have electric. That's for one, electric stove. But if you do have a gas stove, it's hooked to a line where you get a gas bill, just like your electric bill. So that's the difference between the U.S. and Jamaica. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I mentioned the taxi and how taxi is so easy. Anything you want to say about the taxi? Yeah, it's cheap. Like I told him I paid $25 at first from where I was staying going in town. I was paying $25, and then and I had went out with a group one time, and I was telling them, like, it's $2. And they said $2. It's $2. It's less than $2 to get back home. And they were American. They didn't know. They thought it was more, like $25, $35, $50, and it's like, no, nope. And it's crazy because, I mean, even if they had to charge me $10, it was still cheaper than what I would have paid in the U.S. And I think a lot of Jamaicans look at it like that. But when we find out that you've been ripping us off and it was $2 all along, we like, we supposed to be one. You my people. What's going on? And speaking of that, back to that, I noticed, and this will shock a lot of U.S. citizens. You think you going to a black country, and I've even heard it happening in Africa, and some of these people will worship white people. I'm talking about disgustingly, because to me it's disgusting. Like, I've heard them speak to black people so nastily, and not all of them. Some of them are really nice, and some of them are scared. I know they're scared because they're not the majority. But the ones that have been there for a while, their nastiness starts to truly come out. And this guy, the white guy, see me looking at him like, why are you talking to them like that? The cashier's at a store. And he was just like, they just act like they don't understand you or something. Like, you just gotta talk to them like that sometimes. No, you don't. Like, don't do that to these people. They the majority here. Like, that, it disgusts me. Like, y'all need to realize, like, Africans, Jamaicans, y'all say that black Americans always talking about race because they do that. I'm sure a lot of y'all that follow these pages, y'all seen it online and in the comments. They think that we're just bringing our racism to their country. I think it's out of one people, many people, out of many people, one, something their motto is. And I think that's a trash motto because they don't think that of us. If we go to their country, it's not out of one people, many people. They will never let you do that in their country, ever. So that's why to a black American, it's disgusting, and we're not trying to bring division. We're just trying to be true, and it's reality. You cannot go to China and try to have your own little black town. You cannot go to a European country, Britain or whatever. I mean, they have their black areas, I'm sure, but a lot of these countries, you cannot do what these people are doing in your country. You just cannot do it. I mean, it's not going to happen. And it makes a lot of us disgusted, especially the ones that's unapologetically black. We be disgusted by it. And that's something that I just can't get over. Every single race is protection for the complexion. They would stand up for each other, even if the other person is wrong. And most black people, we try to pinpoint when somebody wrong. And sometimes we don't even be wrong. They just be, another black person would just come against you for another white person. And that's just trash to me. It's like, what? Like, no. Protection for the complexion. Period. Like, every race does it. It's the first law of nature, and that's self-preservation. Period. Like, we have to stop letting people take over our areas. We are not one in their eyes, and we need to realize that we probably will never be. A lot of these people are very demonic and devilish. And I don't have time to figure out which snake is poisonous. I just don't. And I don't hate all white people. I really don't. I mean, I treat people accordingly. I respect everybody. But at the end of the day, I'm black first. I'm a black woman first. And I don't care if you don't like it at all. And I used to be scared, and it's sad because you can get blacklisted just for speaking like this. People will look at you like you're racist if you speaking like this. I'm not racist. I don't hate anybody. But I am black first, and I love black people. I love who we are. We be late all the time. That's just who we are. That's another thing that I heard in even other countries, being late. And I spoke about it in like one of my first videos. And it's not everywhere, but lateness is something just in our DNA. Like, I seen on an African video, this one lady, she had moved from the U.S. to Africa, and she was a manager at a bakery. They ran her out of there because she was trying to write the people up for being late. They ran her out of there. When they did an interview with her, they couldn't believe she was like trying to discipline people for being late. Like, we are time. Like, we are time. And you hear about a lot of events, if it's supposed to start at one time, it start late. Like, that is just common with black people in the U.S., in the Caribbean, in Africa. I don't know about Britain and all them other places, but it's just common. Like, we just be like, it's just time. And I make jokes about it to my kid's dad, because he kind of half mixed. He won't say he is, but his grandparents is. And he has that other side of him that has to be on time for everything. Like, I'm like, dude, I can't be on time. I try. Now, some of us we got it down to a science. You know, some of us black people, not all black people are late to everything. It's not, but it's very common. It is a generalization that's, you know, pretty true in my opinion. But again, it's not everybody. So I think that's it, y'all. I will come through with a part 2. This may be part 2 that I'm speaking on, honestly, or I will come through with another part if I have some more that I could think about. Because like I said, I had a whole notebook, and it had like 2-3 pages of differences that you experience in Jamaica. Oh, the driving too. Driving. Like, I got a car in Jamaica, y'all know. So you drive on the opposite side of the road. The cars are made where you drive on the right side. You drive in the right seat in Jamaica. In the U.S., most cars are made where you drive in the left seat. And you drive on the right side of the road in the U.S., and you drive on the left side of the road in Jamaica. So that's the difference. But my car is right seat driving. Like, I drive in my right seat. So I can I'm next to the wall all the time. Like, or next to the edge or whatever. I'm not in the middle. Like, usually you in the middle when you're driving. Like, if a car passing you, you can see the car next to you really good. But it's the opposite for me, because my car is a Canadian car. So, and the cars to me are made cheaper in Jamaica. It seems like the cars that are made for Jamaica seem like they break more often. And the parts are cheaper, but I rather pay a little more money to have something that doesn't break as often. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want nothing. It just seems like my friends and the people that I know have cars, they have the same issues over and over again, issues that I don't have, because I have a Canadian car. My car is pretty strong. It don't look strong, but it's very strong. So, but I do have to, my parts are more expensive because I have to order stuff from out of the country. So if you're ever thinking about buying a car and it's American, or if you're ever thinking about getting your car shipped over there, that's extremely expensive. But the cars, because you have to think about, if something go wrong with your car. My baby, he all right, y'all. He all right. He need my attention soon, so I'm definitely gonna get off of here. But if you ever think about shipping your car there, you probably gonna have to ship parts there if they go bad. So you definitely want to think about that. I wouldn't advise it. Um, I would probably just buy a higher quality car in Jamaica. If you just don't want something that's constantly breaking. And like I said, the stuff doesn't, when it breaks, it's not like expensive. This is like cheap fixes. But I just prefer, speaking of him, my son. Let me speak about this, y'all, real quick. Give me a second, baby, okay? Yeah, can you give me a second? Y'all, when I was in the U.S., out of all my children, at my young age, one second, y'all. All right, when I was younger having my other children, I could not breastfeed in the U.S. I tried so hard with my last daughter, and it just wasn't happening. And maybe I didn't give it enough time. But when my son in Jamaica, as old as I am, I breastfed. They don't have WIC there, so I really didn't have a choice. But I don't know if it's the food, y'all. Oh, and I want to speak about that too, y'all, before I end this. The food in the U.S. is trash. Even the fruits and vegetables, you just don't know where they're coming from. I hope to God that Jamaica does not start importing GMO. And I know certain places probably already were importing GMO or even growing GMO. I would stay away from that. I could not breastfeed. When I came back in, we in November 2024. I came back December. No, we're in November 2025 right now. I came back December 2024. Y'all, if y'all see how big I have gotten, I am so overweight. And I know a lot of people say, well, you can work out, you can watch what you eat. The food here that's pre-made and for one, I work a lot, so my metabolism is not working like that. And I know how to lose weight. I'm one that's kind of been up and down. I know how to fast and do all that stuff. So it is things that I am making excuses about. But I work so hard. I got 2 jobs. So I don't have time. I don't get enough sleep. I definitely don't have enough sleep to work out. And rest to me is more important than working out. Like, I will be a mess if I don't have enough sleep. So that's one thing. But the food, like, it's easier to buy pre-made food. It's quicker and cheaper now. It didn't used to be as cheap. Microwave food or even food that's already made. I could go down the street, y'all, and buy 10 pieces of chicken and some french fries already made for $7.99, $6.99, $6 USD 99. If I go to the store and buy a bag of raw chicken, it's $21.99. I still gotta cook it or unthaw it, cook it, grease, flour, and I don't even hardly have time. So what you think I'm gonna do? The money and the time is already a factor. So I'm definitely, our next video is gonna be where we going next to detox and heal, because even my son Joshua, y'all, we used to come back here to see his hematologist. We came back every 6 months or once a year when we were in Jamaica. And my son health was fine. His hematologist said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Y'all know he got sickle cell anemia. He's not on any of those medications. We came back. He went to the doctors in August of 2024. We were still in Jamaica. We were just here visiting. His oxygen levels were 95. 95 is the norm. 95 and up, I believe, is the norm. It was above that. He came back. He went in April last year. April of this year. 6 months later. Six months later, his oxygen levels dropped to 93. We just went to the doctor's Veterans Day last Tuesday. His oxygen levels have dropped to 83. I'm not big on medicines, y'all. I'm big on herbs. I cannot have my son on all the medications. I just can't. He needs to have his feet in the sand, getting that magnesium out in the sun. I need to be out in the sun. I need to be doing some yoga, proper breathing to actually deal with life. I know I could do that in the bed. It don't take long to do that, to actually get some proper breath in. So there's no excuse for that, but it's hard to change when you're in the same space. And I said this before when I first left. I don't even know what America is coming to at this point. What everything that's going on, a lot of the people in the U.S. seem like they're clueless, or even in Jamaica. Like, are y'all watching what's going on around the world? Are y'all really watching? Because it don't seem like it. I kind of seem like I'm an alien in this space, because people just don't seem like they are. And I know y'all, my background. I have not furnished my house like I like to furnish it, because I don't want to get attached to anything. I'm grateful for my place, but I'm not trying to attach to stuff. So I haven't like decked it out like I wanted to, or none of that. I'm just grateful that I have somewhere to stay and I ain't got to sleep on nobody's couch. But y'all, that's the end of it. That's all I can think of. I'm sure I'm going to think of something later, and I'm going to come back with another part. But I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Let me know if what may have shocked y'all, like, or you already knew this was like this. Y'all let me know in the comments. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And again, let us know in the comments what was shocking to you, or what you already knew was different. Love you. Bye.